Well, this is our Memorial Day cookout. We're cooking in the house. A lot of water over there. Eddie come out today and we have been working. Well, not what you think. Not on the building, but trying to reorganize the new molding line, not the molding area. Yep, you heard it right, the molding line. We have taken the crane, the trolley, and we're utilizing our molding area, our furnace, where we're going to re-ram right here. And I've got a bunch of junk to clean out over here yet. This was where the molding bench was. I have changed up, as you're going to see in this video. I've changed up the whole way I'm doing this. So there's no more need at this time for that molding bench that I had. So we moved that giant tank built wheelbarrow. And what else did we move?
The furnace.
Yeah, that furnace that was in the way. It was suddenly blocking my path. It was not quite under the trolley, but it was just enough offset to it to where when I needed to run the furnace on the inside of the building, anyway, we got it against the wall for now, and it's probably going to be its final resting place at this point. Anyway, I've got a lot of crap I got to clean up, and luckily we didn't see any snakes.
That would have been the end of my day.
Yeah. but anyway, I think we did a lot today. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we made a lot of progress.
Yeah, and you're not seeing everything we're doing here, but we have to winch everything up on the truck, which is pretty easy. And then Eddie's got an electric winch that we take down to where we store this stuff, and then we have to back up to well, anyway, we had to back up to a point where we could find a good sound beam overhead to tie the crane off to unload the truck. So it's a lot of work. Now to see if I'm going to be able to pull this thing. Well, that was half the day ruined. This is a 3D printed pattern, which I don't have a problem with. They usually do pretty well as long as they have a very good finish on them. Well, I am back from Texas, and hopefully this video will not have an AI dubbed voiceover. We are cranking out some of Keith Rucker's 18-inch straight edges this week, trying to, along with some other things. And I've got to remember yeah, never mind. Just thinking aloud, guys. There is a certain way these have to be done. And it just so happens I've got a better camera angle now. But I haven't done any of these in a while, and I promised Keith for the last 6 months I was going to get him some straight edges. And I'm not telling him that anymore. I'm going to just surprise him. We have had our share of rain the last month. It has made molding a major challenge. I'm going to knock out 4 of these. Josie and I have some backflow preventers we got to test in the morning, so I'm only going to have time to ram up 4 of these today, and then I've got to ram up a bottom for the furnace. Now this setup that you're watching is not going to be a sound, a rock solid bench yet, but I'm testing this and the flow of it, or the practicality of it, to see if this is the way I want to continue doing it. And so far I'm liking it. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is replacing this aluminum thin-walled vat with a much beefier constructed system. I think. I don't know. I hope you can hear me okay with that fan going. That is another advantage to being right in the middle of the breezeway like this. I can keep cool. Already messed up. Luckily I caught it in time. Let's try that again. That pulled clean. If you're wondering what that noise was just now, flying overhead. The CDC knows where I'm at now. And I think they're just doing it to tick me off. I'm just raking the radius of each one of those vents where I don't have any hot tear. The other thing I like about this setup I have now, I can get to both sides of this when the camera's not in my way without having to spin the flask around. I can just walk around. Sure beats carrying them. Especially when I got to bring them way out here now. By the way, I've realized that new furnace puts out way too many BTU for me to be bringing it in the building. I've got to do some work on the inside of the building, remove some tin off the walls where it's not a giant oven when I'm in there doing pours. Alright guys, I'm going to knock out one more of these, and I got something else I got to mold up, and then we're going to start making the pan. And I've already shown making the pans, and probably not going to put that in here. But I did want to show you the change up I've got now. I have taken the sand vat, moved it up under, well, Eddie and I did. We put it directly under the trolley. And from there, I've got several different fixtures for different things I just hooked to it. Yes, I went ahead and took the V-bore scale off from up there, and the reason for that was I just didn't have the working area, and I don't want to damage this thing. It's brand new. I will end up putting it on right as I go to pick up the furnace and record the weight and pile 400 pounds. I don't know if I'm even going to be pouring 400 this time around. It'll probably be about 200. And I've got several other things that are in smaller molds that's got to come out here too. So yeah, 200 pounds is probably going to be more than enough. But I'll weigh it out with that scale when I get ready to do that. We're at probably 40 gallons of fuel way up there. I think I showed you last, but I put a pump in the system. So what I do, I just set a fuel can up on that blue shelf right there, and then pump it on up there with that. We're only talking about a 70-gallon tank. I'm not going to call somebody out here just fill up a 70-gallon tank. We have a bigger tank. We have a 250-gallon tank that we're not putting up there. That we're going to keep that on ground level and pump up to that one. Just for the head pressure, right? Just to get that elevated pressure. That's it. For the time being, I'm just manually filling it with 5-gallon cans, which takes a while. No truck's going to come out here and deliver only 75 gallons of fuel. They're not going to do that. So, to answer your question ahead of time, we're not doing that yet. I got 2 cores that are ready. We're going to be making the molds for these this morning. Now, I didn't go through videoing making the cores. You have already seen me do that on previous videos. So we got a few here going. So we got to get 2 of these. We got to make 1 mold of these. Let's do it like that. No, we'll do it like that, and yeah, that'll work. So, as I showed you a second ago, we have 2 cores in the kiln. One's going to go right here in this core print, rest in there, and that'll create a hollow cast iron sleeve. We're going to position it about right here because I've got a pretty good size riser that's going to go right here on the coat side of it. We're looking at the drag right now. And then this is going to be a half bearing. It's a, let's see what Keith calls it. It's a top main bearing case. And anyway, So we got a core for this one as well. These are all ready, and let's see, make sure I get everything to work with here. It's actually nice out right now. It's 73 degrees. I'm not having to run the fan. Humidity's not bad. That's always a plus. Well, something got a hold of the last two chickens. Not sure if it's Cody's or a strange dog Josie said she saw up here that day before that happened. So you won't hear chickens in the background till we get some more anyway. We got to come up with a better plan for protection for those guys. So I'm not using registration pins on this. So I'll just dimple it instead. This I don't have another half for, but this one I do. Keith put an X right here. Get some of that dust off. And that'll lay right there. And we need to put our riser in too. Lay that right there. And we're good to go, I believe. Got one problem. I'm going to be watching this box on these corners when I reassemble it. I'm going to put my runner this way, put two gates in here, and then put two in the flange. And I'm going to have open riser here, and I'll probably go ahead and make this open as well. Not that worried about the finish on these. They're going to get fully machined on the inside and out. This big mahogany pattern is going on the Stoker engine. We already made one, and I thought we made another one, and we didn't, apparently. I'm probably going to bump that open riser, so I'm just going to go ahead and visualize it now. So the sand was broke off down in there. I got it out now. There is a chunk missing there, but I think we're going to be all right. As long as I don't put more than 200 pounds in this load, I think we're okay. But that opening's not as big as I thought it was. And I stuck my arm down in there to grab that clod of sand, and anyway, I couldn't get my arm out. It was getting scary. And for 15 minutes, I had my arm stuck in that thing and I couldn't get it out. And my phone was laying on the table on the other end of the building, which happened to be close to the crane, which happened to be suspending the furnace that happened to have my arm in it. So here I go. I'm going down the building with my arm in the furnace, stuck in it, trying to make it to my phone. I realized by then I'm going to have to call 911. And if I do, they're going to have to bust that refractory up to get my arm out, which is going to ruin the furnace. Luckily, my arm worked free as I was getting to the other end of the building. But I'll tell you, that was that would have made a good video. repairs, I gotta make a bigger basin. Well, my friends, we have come to the end of this video, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we've cast. These are our first successful castings using the new furnace, and I want to let you know I'm super stoked about this. It has been a long time coming, but I am pouring hotter iron than I ever did and much better quality iron from all indications. So let me give you a peek. If I didn't say, we did miss the pouring basin on a couple of them. I do know now what to do differently. We're going to make the basins much bigger along with the pouring area here. We're gonna widen that to where we got more volume coming out, and I'm hoping with more volume we're gonna have more gravity to pull straight down. One of the problems I was running into with this was it was overshooting the pouring basin by probably 3 inches, and I noticed the time before when we used this that didn't happen, but we were pouring a much wider channel of iron out of the spout, and it was dropping as soon as it past the nose, opposed to shooting a thinner stream out forward. So for those of you that are not aware of what I've been working on for the past few months, let me go ahead and bring you up to speed. This is the reverberating tilt furnace that I've been working on. Actually, in layman's terms, it's a maneuverable industrial ladle furnace, or MILF, and it is by far the greatest thing I've ever accomplished in my life. This not only pours super hot iron, as I just said, but I have no need to use crucibles with iron anymore. I'm ramming the bed of this in the bottom and pouring super hot iron straight into the mold with no dross. Yes, I told you right, no dross. Any of the dross that stays in there, which is very little because of the heat, hugs the back of the surface area of the refractory and just kind of climbs up it as that tilt goes this way. Mighty fine MILF, if I say so myself. So anyway, I'm super stoked, as I said, about this. This is by far the greatest achievement of my Foundry career so far. This will cast up to 400 pounds, and if I wanted to put a bigger bottom on this, I could cast up to the standing no load weight of this furnace with a pan with the bottom rammed is 1,250 pounds. So I could easily, as long as I don't exceed 2,000 pounds, I have that much weight I could add to this furnace. But in order to do that, I would have to make a bigger bottom for it. So anyway, that's it. I hope you had a great day, and we will catch you the next time. Hopefully, I will be doing regular videos now every week. I've been in Texas for a while, so that kind of messed me up. Of course, I did a video on some of that too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I plan on putting my MILF in action here in upcoming videos. So anyway, have a good day, and we'll see you later. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.